teachers and they'll say, oh, I don't like that yoga teacher. And I'll say, well, I disagree with you because I feel like every teacher has some little morsel that could be really beneficial. And if they're putting themselves in front of a class, that's a scary thing to do. I take my hat off to them, actually,
Yes.
because not everybody can do that. So when I see young teachers trying to do the best they can, I would really like to support them.
Yes.
I don't
And
think,
what would you say is the biggest in terms of like reflecting back, I do it all the time from in terms of me teaching is reflecting back to who you were when you first began, like what would you be some advice that you would give yourself?
yeah, I would say just follow your heart and be natural. If you came from a gym background, that's okay. Don't dismiss that. If you're
Yes.
teaching in a gym, don't dismiss that. It doesn't mean you're less spiritual than someone who's living in an ashram in India. I think that teachers, a lot of them are made to feel smaller than their
Yes.
capital S self because they might not have the years of experience or they might not have been taught by a certain teacher. I don't think any of that's important. I think what is important that if they love those students and they see those students as their teachers, they're going to be a good teacher.
Yes. And for me, what I would tell myself back then, because I was really hard on myself. I was really, really hard on myself. And to soften around that, and like you said, just show up, do the best that you can. And then the other piece of it was just teach what you love,
Teach
and
what you love.
remember that, and to share from a place. Like I started teaching when I was 23, and I had a lot of yeah, I was just really hard on myself for that because I lived in New York City. There were like David Life was one of my teachers. There were so many
Yes.
teachers who were
Yes.
like teachers, and I'm like, who am I? I'm this like little girl, like really. And then when I realized like we're all bozos on the bus and I'm just teaching something that I love, and if people like it too, they'll do it too. And if they don't, that's also okay, And like you
Yes.
said, there's a space for everyone's voice.